Balance Centers in West Erie and Corey, Pennsylvania. We're here for midday exercise break on a nice Friday. It's nice outside, but if you're inside or if you want to do these later, go ahead and jump on our YouTube site, which we'll put up after this exercise break. We're going to do these with a ball that we have. If you have one of the exercise balls like we have here at home, that's fine. If you don't have one of these, what we're going to do is show an alternative exercise that you can do a similar muscle group workout without that ball. So what we're going to start with, like usual, I want people to be a little bit warmed up. So Bertie's just going to do some marches up and down. So the idea is with the ball, for a lot of the exercises that we're doing, they make things a little bit more unstable. And generally speaking, if you're doing exercises with a little bit more instability, it's good for our balance system, it's good for our core system, and it makes our muscles work a little bit harder. So if the exercises we do today with the ball are a little bit too difficult for you, I'm going to show some alternatives. Stick with those for a little while, but then it's good to progress up to these ball exercises. The other option is, if you have or have ever seen one of these are a good in-between. It's called a peanut ball for obvious reasons. And they can give you a little bit more stability because they don't rock this way when you do exercises with them. And these you can find pretty much anywhere we have at the clinic. You can get them at Dick's and some other places, but this is a good alternative to a standard ball that you see. Okay, so we'll start with the seated marches on the ball. This is Bernie, by the way. He's been helping us out quite a bit. We give him the hard days. He gets to sweating and doesn't like it a whole lot. But anyways, start with the marches just up and down. So what he's going to do here, you could hold on to the ball, or you could just keep your arms out to your side a little bit. He's trying to bring his knees up so his feet probably get about 6 to 10 inches off the floor. What he's doing here is he's engaging these core muscles to keep his trunk stable. He's also working his hip flexors to draw his legs up like this. So it's a great exercise to improve core strength, to improve your balance, and to also just work on that stability and through the whole trunk. So a way to make this a little bit more difficult is, and to work on the coordination too, he'll keep his trunk straight, he's going to bring up one knee, and he's going to lift his opposite arm at the same time. If you feel too shaky with that, what you can do is, you can just use a standard chair, and just start with this here. So you could start by just going up and down just to get a feel for this, and then you can just work on this at first until progressing to the ball exercises. This ball here is about an 85 centimeter ball. They usually go by centimeters. When you sit on this, it should be about the same height as a chair, or just slightly higher, and that's a good height for most of the exercises that we'll do. Okay, so we're going to go to the squats on the wall. I had a gentleman in this morning. He had some knee pain when he would do certain exercises at the gym, the leg press and some other machines, and he also had trouble with just a regular squat. So this is a good alternative for this if you have knee trouble or knee pain with certain movements or exercises, because his feet are positioned more forward with this. He can bring out his feet, bring them out a little bit further too. What that does is it takes tension off the knees, but he's still getting a really good workout in his quads here, and also the glute muscles in the back. When you start with this, you want that ball to be almost positioned just right above your belt line or right in that area. And as you slide down, it just slightly creeps up your back. You'll want to go down into a position where you're about 90 degrees like this and come back up. The alternative, keep going with that, Bernie, just for a couple, and then we'll go to single leg. An alternative to that is, if you have just a door at home that's pretty smooth, you can just rest your back against the door, and we just call it a door slide, where people just go down like this and then back up. This wall is a little bit rough for that. That's why a door can work pretty well. If this one is too easy for you, you can do one of two things. You can bring your feet closer together, but I'm going to have Bernie show a single leg squat. So he'll just go to one leg at a time here. At least try to, don't hurt yourself. And what he's trying to do here is, he wants to keep his knee on the right side from going inwards. The tendency is for that knee to collapse in this way. What that shows is you have some weakness of that right hip as he's doing that on his leg over here on this side. So he's trying to keep that leg straight, go down to about a 90-degree bend, and then come back up. This works the same muscle groups as the other one with both legs, just a little bit more intense. Good. That's a really good exercise for people if they have some hip issues, some knee issues. It's a safe one that really works the leg. So we're going to go into a little crunch now. So with this here, you sit on the ball first, and then you just kind of sneak your legs out this way. So as Bernie does this one, I like people to either bring their arms up across their chest, or if they have neck issues, you can protect your neck a little bit here. He's not going to pull up on his neck. He's rather going to engage his core muscles as he does a little crunch here. Doing this on the ball versus on the ground gives you more instability, so you have to work those trunk and core muscles to a greater extent. And you'll notice as he's doing this, he's kind of pushing just slightly with his legs, and that gives you a little bit more range of motion in the trunk. You get a little bit better workout with that. If you don't have the ball, the alternative to that is to just do them on a mat on the floor, and you can just do a traditional crunch where you bring your hands. I like to go here because people tend to pull up on their head in this position. Just come to this position here just until your shoulder blades are off of the ground, and then you'll come back down slowly for 10 of these, okay? So let's go to the opposite where you twist, Bernie, up there. So what he's going to do here is he's bringing his opposite elbow, or his elbow to his opposite knee on the ball as he's doing this. Obviously, they're not going to quite touch. The alternative to that is if you don't have the ball on the ground, you can go to here, and you can just try and bring your elbow to your opposite leg like this. You can go behind the head, just don't pull on the head, and bring your opposite elbow towards your opposite knee and return slowly. So I'll do about 10 to 15 of those in a row. This primarily works the front abdominals, the oblique muscles on the sides, and you get a little bit of your hip muscles engaged with that there. Okay, so we're going to work the legs a little bit more in the back here with this next exercise. This is going to work the hamstring muscles in through here. This can work really well with the peanut ball. It's a little bit easier with the peanut ball, but we're going to show this one because more people probably have the standard ball at home. So what he's going to do, he's going to lift his butt up off the mat here. He's going to have his feet out towards the end of this ball, and now he's going to pull his heels up towards this direction so that ball gets closer to his butt, and then he's going to let his heels go out slowly this way here. If you shake, it means you're out of shape, Bernie, so keep doing these.
Too late.
So I want him to do about 10 of these. The really intense version of this, if you're an athlete that's had some knee issues, or if you're a runner, is to go to a single leg. I won't make Bernie do that. I don't want him to sweat on anybody this afternoon. So anyways, so he's just doing 2 there. This is hard to replicate without the ball. So another way to work your legs, to work those hamstrings is, we showed this one the other day, you can hold on to a chair and you can do some backwards kicks like this here to tighten up the glutes in the back. You fire up the hamstrings a little bit. The other exercise to work those hamstrings that we showed yesterday too, we just called it the cone touch, where you just put a little cone or a gallon bottle out in front of you and you come up like this here. So you touch something in front of you and then you come back up. So those are a couple of ways to work the hamstrings. Let's show the bridging on the ball too. So the bridge exercise is one where you have to stabilize the trunk. All he's going to do here is he's going to lift up through the glutes until his body's in a straight line here and come back down slowly. And I'm going to have him do 10 of those ones there. The alternative to that is he's doing those as a traditional bridge, and this would be one where your legs are out in front of you like this, and then you're just coming up to this position here. The difference is my knees are bent here, so it does pull a little bit more through the thighs, but that one's a little bit trickier because he does have the instability of the ball there. These are both good ones to try out. If you have the ball at home, try that one there. Did you get 10, Bernie?
10 right here.
Okay, good. So the final one of the day, we're going to do a little bit more with the pec muscles, the chest muscles, and the upper body. This is a really good way. We have somebody who is recovering from some shoulder surgery, and he said to me today, well, can I go right back to push-ups? The problem with that is you put most of your body weight, about 70%, through your arms, and that's just a little bit too much to start with. So if you haven't done a push-up in a while, or if you're recovering from an injury or surgery, this is a good way to start. You don't have all of your body weight coming down. And also, Bernie's putting his hands kind of in like this position here. It's a little bit more neutral of a grip, so it takes strain off of the shoulder and off of the chest as he does these. So while he's doing these here, that ball's also stopping him from getting too much extension in the arms, which can strain through here. And maybe bring your feet up a little bit further then just kind of touch your chest on the ball right there. There you go. And the ball does add a little bit of instability, so he is working those muscles to a little bit greater extent, trying to control his arms and his upper body from shaking. So while he's doing these, the alternative to that would be, if you don't have, obviously, the ball at home, you could use just a countertop. I'll use this kind of splint for this here. But you go into this position on the countertop, come down just until your elbows are about 90 degrees, and then come back up to this position. Okay? So the way to make this a lot more difficult, and it's a really good one at home, is if you have the ball like this here, what you can do is, for a push-up, you can bring your knees and your feet up onto the ball like this, in this position, and now you're just going to start to do regular push-ups like this here. But you have to control the stability of that ball while you're doing push-ups. I don't recommend that one unless regular push-ups are pretty easy. And now I'm out of breath. Thanks. So, thank you very much. Tune in tomorrow, or sorry, not tomorrow. I did this last week, next Monday, and we'll have another exercise break then. Thanks a lot, and have a good weekend.